What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the Yongnuo YN560 version 4 speedlight. Flash has most of your standard features such as speeds down to 1/28 full power, zoom functionality and rotating head, as well as high speed sync, but it doesn't have TTL, which can be important but can be controlled manually in a slave 1 or 2 or standard manual configuration. Where this flash really shines though is its compatibility to not only be triggered by the RF603 2 and 3 triggers, but it can also be used as a trigger for those as receivers. It can also be triggered by another YN560 version 4 or a YN560TX, which is an accessory trigger for your camera that allows you to control the settings of the connected YN560 version 4s right on top of the trigger unit rather than on the back of the flash. So this means that you don't have to physically go up to the flash to change the settings. Using a combination of these accessories, you could use your on-camera speedlight to trigger multiple other flashes in the room, or utilize the accessory trigger unit to control individually up to 4 YN560 version 4 speedlights right on top of your camera. This is typically a feature reserved for many more of the first party's top-of-the-line flash units, such as Canon's 600 speedlight line, but it could, depending on your use case, make up for the lack of TTL, when you can simply change manual settings on top of the camera. With that out of the way, let's go for a physical tour of the device. On the front, it's fairly simple with a bit of Yongnuo branding and the transmitter and receiver. Going around the side, we have the flash sync and power ports. On the other side, we just have the battery door, where the trigger accepts 4 AA batteries. On the back, we have all of our controls. On the top is an LCD display, which displays all of our current settings and allows us to view what we change. And the menus are accessed via a combination of buttons. For example, different shooting modes such as manual, trigger, receiver, or slave can be changed using the mode button, and power can be accessed using the directional buttons in the center. So on to my personal experience with the flash. I used it at a couple of weddings now after my previous manual flash had fallen off a light stand and broke. I was able to make it through the rest of the night, but I ordered this one as soon as I got home. Since the flash I had was manual, I was using the Yongnuo RF603 triggers already, and when I saw that this flash had the trigger and receiver compatibility with the triggers I already had, it was almost an immediate sell since I would have to worry about connecting one less trigger when setting up at a venue. My biggest concerns are battery life and range. Since receptions are long, changing batteries isn't something I want to have to do in the middle of something important, and since some reception halls are very large, I don't want to have to worry about how far away from the flash I'm standing to make sure it's going to reliably go off. This flash excelled in both of those areas. I used it in receiver mode most of the time on channel 0 with my trigger on the camera, as well as occasionally another flash with the second trigger being as a receiver on the other side of the room. Battery lasted the entire night without a problem, and I could easily stretch out across the entire reception hall without any loss in signal. The flash is really bright, very consistent, and I never had any real problems with it. The only real thing I could complain about is the lack of TTL, which seems like a feature they could have easily implemented considering everything else that this thing has to offer, but doesn't have to be expected at this price. The only other complaint is that initially when you turn it on, the warm-up can be rather long before your pilot light finally actually turns on, which I actually think is an extremely minor issue, but it could cause you a bit of a problem if you're really in a time pinch. As regards to price, I picked up this flash for under $70 when I bought it, and the accessory 560TX trigger can be had for around $40 US. And that's what I think makes this Yongnuo system so compelling, is that you could buy 4 of these speedlights with the trigger unit and still be under the price of single Canon 600EX RT flash unit without any trigger. And it actually shares a couple of the features that the 600 RT has. At their price, these flashes may not be better than the first party counterparts, but I give them a wholehearted more than good enough award, and they're essentially disposable for the price. That about sums it up on the Yongnuo YN560 version 4. Hope you got a little something out of this. I realize it wasn't an extremely formal video with tons of facts, and it was more just me giving a little bit of my opinion, but I hope it was beneficial anyway. And I hope the rest of your day goes very well. If you liked this video, liking and subscribing are always great for me and encourages me to do more videos like this one. And if you have experience, positive or negative, with this flash, or simply notice that I said something incorrect, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hello, I'm Nick Pryor, and